So I think there are a number of opportunities that are unique to this particular moment, and I'll just outline three really quickly here. The first relates to the looming 2030 deadline for meaningful progress toward the climate crisis, and we're seeing more and more commercially viable opportunities with significant climate potential, but real gaps still exist, and there are incredible opportunities for climate focused blended finance structures, like, as an example, the BlackRock managed climate finance partnership that was able to utilize catalytic capital from the Grantham Environmental Trust and other philanthropic actors in partnership with countries like France and Germany to mobilize just under 700 million for climate solutions in emerging markets. And this opportunity is especially strong in our view with development finance partners, and the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet are pursuing a number of really exciting opportunities in that regard. We're also seeing catalytic capital solutions like Generations Just Climate, which is taking first deployment and scale up risk for high value greenhouse gas reduction solutions where the technology has been proven out, but there's just that next stage of significant capital that's needed, often in a project finance manner, to really scale up that proven technology. And while we're seeing more and more capital flow toward climate solutions, this gap seeking capital that has the potential to accelerate the energy transition is still needed at scale, and time, as we all know, is running quite short in this area. So that's one. A second is to lean in even more to a more equitable and inclusive economy, especially as we're moving into a choppier macroeconomic climate, where some of the exciting and helpful racial equity commitments that were made in the wake of the George Floyd tragedy and the murder of George Floyd might start to wane. And we're seeing impressive leadership in this area on the ground with folks like, as I mentioned, Kim Folsom, and the scaled national platform for revenue share structures for entrepreneurs of color. Don and Liz Thompson in Chicago, in our hometown, who've launched a $70 million Cast Us fund to support entrepreneurs of color with a principal focus on the South and West sides of Chicago, or the Raven Indigenous Capital Partners fund manager, which is an Indigenous-led fund that's supporting Native-led or Native-serving companies across North America. So these are just a few examples of just extraordinary leadership in a variety of ways to help facilitate a more just and equitable society. And it's just, in our view, in my view, it's just extremely important to lean in even more now in this moment in these areas. And then lastly, Fran, you mentioned the historic levels of federal funding that's coming online, and that presents ready-made opportunities to bend the curve toward a more inclusive economy here in the United States, whether that's through the $10 billion that was authorized through the American Rescue Plan's State Small Business Credit Initiative, or the $27 billion that was authorized through IRA's Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, among many other opportunities. There's really extraordinary opportunities for things like climate justice and other areas for investors to engage. And collaboration with these programs represents really a once in a multiple generation opportunity to help shift the 21st century economy to one that's more inclusive and one that's more reflective of our diverse society. So those would be the three areas, Fran, that I would highlight here.